So students, we are done with the introduction of author and then we studied about the central idea or the summary of this story. And now we'll go through this story line by line. So, strange things happen and strange things happen all the time, especially when you least expect them. It happened to Beni Pishi. So here the story is of Beni Pishi, and usually the strange things happen when we don't expect them. So similar things happen with Beni Pishi. One fine morning, we got up to hear that Beni Pishi had lost her voice. Beni Pishi not talking. That was like a rose not emitting fragrance. It was impossible and strange. It was really impossible that Beni Pishi could not talk. She lost her voice. It was like any rose is not emitting the fragrance. Any rose is not passing away the scent. It was impossible and strange. There was hardly anyone in our village or nearby villages who had not heard of her reputation. Beni Pishi was a compulsive talker. There was not a moment she could manage to keep her mouth shut. It was simply out of question. So here from these lines you can understand that Beni Pishi was a compulsive talker. A compulsive talker means habitual talker. She was in the habit of talking continuously. Then her reputation was well known in this village and in other villages also that she can't keep her mouth shut. She is one who can talk continuously and continuously. And if one thinks that she will keep shut or she will not talk, that was not something to think about. That was completely out of question. Pishi stayed with her brother. What is the name of Pishi's brother? Ghanshyam Mandal. Pishi stayed with her brother Ghanshyam Mandal, who incidentally happened to be our mathematics teacher in the village primary school. So Pishi's brother is Ghanshyam Kakaji and he is the mathematics teacher in the primary school. In the primary school of whom? In the primary school of narrator. A man of few words. This we are talking about Ghanshyamji, Ghanshyam Mandal, okay. So Ghanshyamji was a man of few words. Man of few words means he spoke only when it was necessary. Otherwise he remained quiet. He was a total contrast to his sister Beni. He was opposite to his sister Beni. People who knew him closely claimed that they had never heard him speak a word not pertaining to mathematics. So except mathematics, he did not talk of anything else. He talked very less, unlike Beni Pishi who talked very much. So, on the other hand, Beni Pishi just talked and talked. She was one who continued to talk more and more. Whenever she would find no listener, she would mumble to herself. If Beni Pishi is not having any listener nearby, she will continue to talk to herself in a very silly manner or in a low voice. So she would continuously mumble to herself, often converse, imagining herself to be a group of people and representing each one's view for a minute or two in a round table manner. In a round table manner, she will represent different persons, and for each person whom she is representing, she will talk for a minute or a two. See, this is what she is doing even when she is alone, when she is not having any listener nearby. She talks to herself, mumble herself, and she takes the role of other persons. And in a round table manner, in a round table conference manner, she continues to play the role of different persons for 1 or 2 minutes. So my friend Tahil claimed that he had even heard Pishi talking to a cow while milking her. So Tahil was the friend of narrator, and Tahil even claimed, he even told that Beni Pishi talked even while milking the cows. So when one fine morning Beni Pishi stopped talking, we all felt she must be terribly ill or something. So when one day Beni Pishi stopped talking, we all thought that she might be ill or she might be sick, therefore she has lost her voice. Then they continued to ask something. Pishi, aren't you feeling well? We asked in a worried manner. Do you have fever or a headache? Are you having a sore throat? Have you suddenly decided to take up a vow to remain silent? though this possibility was rather remote. Oh, Pishi, don't keep us in suspense anymore. Tell us what has happened. So these all are the thoughts which are told by the narrator and her friends. So here they were asking, are you unwell? Are you having a sore throat? Are you feeling some irritation in throat? Are you worried? Or is that you have taken a vow that you will not talk anymore? Why you are keeping us in suspense, Beni? Please tell us what happened to you. So this way it went on. Beni Peshi would not open her mouth. It seemed she had really lost her voice finally. But Beni Peshi was not there to answer their questions. Means she was not opening her mouth. It was like they were feeling she has lost her voice. Then Ramu, the village barber, went one step further. I know what has happened, he said wisely. So Ramu was a barber in the village and he took a step further and came and told the crowd there that yes, I know what Beni Peshi is suffering from. What? We all shouted in unison. In unison means all together. So what is being shouted by the author, the narrator and the other friends, the crowd who stood nearby. Though none of us had much faith upon Ramu's understanding, today was different. See, Ramu was being highly ignored by these people. None of them trusted Ramu and his sayings or his deeds. So here, they did not have any other option, so they once tried to trust him. Today, we were ready to listen to the silliest man on earth to enlighten us. You see the contradiction here. Ramu is the silliest man of the town, what they believe, but now of the silliest man of the village. But today, since they are not having any other option, they are trying to trust him to enlighten them. To enlighten them means to give them some knowledge. As on theories relating to Beni Peshi's silence. So here they are trusting Ramu to find the reason why Beni Peshi is silent. Well, something like this had once happened to Dinu Mandal in my native village. Ramu whispered to us. I think I know what has happened to Pishi. I think the neem tree has something to do with this. He sighed deeply again. So what is the reason he is giving? First he told that this sort of thing happened to another person in the village, that the name of that person is Dinu Mandal. And then he told that he is suffering from all this because the neem tree has something to do with this. The ghost in the neem tree has taken the hold of Beni Peshi, and therefore Beni Peshi is not able to talk. This time we were really stumped. Stumped means shocked. The neem tree? Do you really mean it? I think, do you mean it that neem tree has something to do that relating to Beni Peshi's voice? Then it continued. Can't you see? Don't you understand? It is the ghost on the neem tree. He has cast a spell on Peshi. That is why she has lost her voice. I know for sure. Dinu Mandal had also once lost his voice like this. It is all the conspiracy of the ghost on the neem tree. See how he is making this superstition thing feel live to others. Like he is telling them, can't you see? The ghost on the neem tree has cast a spell or magical things upon Beni Peshi and has taken the hold of Beni Peshi. He has possessed, the ghost on the neem tree has possessed Beni Peshi. Dinu Mandal had also suffered like this. Can't you see all this? Why would the ghost try to cast a spell on Beni Peshi? Asked Aslam Chacha. So here is the picture. Aslam Chacha, the person in the crowd. So Aslam Chacha is asking why something in the neem tree or the ghost in the neem tree will do something to Beni Peshi. Asked Aslam Chacha, scratching his head in a somewhat baffled manner. And a baffled manner means confused manner. So he was too confused why something on the neem tree will do something to Beni Peshi. Then, do you teach at the village school with this kind of intelligence? Ramu said triumphantly. Triumphantly means victoriously, with great satisfaction. So he told that, do you teach in the village school? Here, Aslam Chacha is there, no? Aslam Chacha is also a teacher in the school, like the brother of Beni Peshi was, Ghanshyam Kaka was. So, Aslam Chacha is also saying, like to Aslam Chacha, Ramu said, "Do you teach with this kind of intelligence in school?" And he was very assertive this time. Assertive means he was talking with very high confidence. Then, who went last Friday with open hair under the neem tree to collect berries? I had told her so many times, Pishy, please don't pass under that haunted tree with your hair open. Ghosts do not like to see humans defying them. They would surely cast an evil spell on you one of these days. So here he is telling that on one Friday, she went with open hairs under the neem tree. And I was telling her not to go with open hairs under the neem tree because the ghost on the neem tree do not like others to disobey their orders. So the ghosts are something against humans. They do not like humans to disfollow their orders. Therefore, in revenge, the ghosts have cast a spell, or they have did a magic over Beni Peshi, and through that magical powers they have took away her voice. Do you know how she reacted to my advice? She simply laughed. Now she must have understood what it is to show your guts to the dead ones. And he is continuing that, Ramu is continuing. Ramu told, when I told her not to go under the neem tree with open hairs, she laughed at me. And this is what she is suffering now. Because she laughed at me and the thought I was telling, and she was going against the dead ones. Dead ones means ghost. Because she was going against the ghost, this is now how she is suffering. We do not know whether to trust Ramu, the ghost on the neem tree, casting a magic spell on Pishi to make her silent did not seem too convincing an explanation, especially to me. As unknown to my elders, I had often climbed that very neem tree with open tresses and all to escape from the ire of my father. Here, the narrator is saying that even the narrator also has climbed upon the neem tree with open hairs. Then why Beni Pishi would be caught if she went open hairs under the neem tree? So she is in dilemma. She is not believing this fact easily. But then, no one present there could breathe but another word that might explain that strange incident. So all were there and they were all breathing in, breathing out, but all of the time they were thinking what actually has happened, why she is not able to talk. Is there a remedy? We asked. So the crowd asked to Ramu, is there any remedy for it? Of course, there is. Ramu, the wisdom personified, replied. Send for someone who can drive away the ghost. So he was the wisdom personified and this is the irony here. Irony means जो जैसा होता नहीं है हम उसको वो बोल देते हैं ना. अभी तक हम क्या सुने थे, सिलिएस्ट पर्सन है कौन, रामू, पर हम अभी क्या बोल रहे हैं कि ये समझदार पर्सन है. तो ये आयरनी हो जा रही है. आयरनी हियर इज समथिंग दैट इज रिवर्स. हम लोग लिख तो कुछ और रहे बट रियलिटी में वो कुछ और है. हम यहाँ बोल रहे हैं कि वो बहुत समझदार है जबकि रियलिटी में वो सिलिएस्ट पर्सन है. सो हियर यस देयर इज अ रेमेडी. Who said it? The person with her wisdom said it that yes, there's a remedy. Her remedy hai, and he called for someone who can drive away the ghost from inside Beni. Then, so such a person was sent for. Arrangements for shooting off the ghost were made. A big pyre was lit at the center of the courtyard. The men, dressed in red and chanting strange words at his loudest, began thrashing Beni Peshi with a broom. So what happened? A large pyre means here like आग जलाई गई थी लकड़ियों से, and then एक पर्सन को बुलाया गया जो रेड ड्रेस में था और वो क्या किया, झाड़ू लेके उसको मारने लगा बेनी पेशी को. ही वेंट ऑन हिटिंग एंड स्ट्राइकिंग बेनी पेशी विद द ब्रूम. We could all see that he was actually thrashing Beni Peshi and not the ghost with the broom and making her sniff a sizzling bit of garlic. But it was not exactly the moment to make these observations. What was happening? He was thrashing Beni Peshi or striking broom over Beni Peshi, and also Beni Peshi was made to sniff or to smell garlic. So these all things generally happen in our superstitional area. उन्हें ना लहसुन सुंघाई गई और उन्हें ना झाड़ू से बहुत मारा गया, बट एक्चुअली इफ यू सी वो झाड़ू से बेनी पिशी को मार रहे हैं, उस घोस्ट को नहीं मार रहे हैं. देन the man might have continued for some more time. Right at that moment, a most wonderful thing happened. Beni Pishi snatched away the broom from his hand and with it thrashed him to pieces. He left howling and leaping the way we had expected the ghost of the neem tree to. I'll explain this in Hindi. See, यहाँ पर बेनी मतलब वो बेनी पेशी को और थोड़ी देर झाड़ू मारते मारते, पर उतने में अचानक से बेनी पेशी ने झाड़ू उठाई और उसको इतना मारा इतना दौड़ाया, जैसे हम सोचे थे कि घोस्ट दौड़ेगा निकल के, वैसे तो ये मैन दौड़ा जो कि बेनी पेशी का घोस्ट निकालने आया था. उनके अंदर का जो अंदर घोस्ट बोला जा रहा था या उनके अंदर आत्मा है वो निकालने जो आया था, वो ही भग गया बेनी पेशी से झाड़ू खा खा के. However, the problem still stood at square one. Beni Pishi was still speechless. She glared so fiercely at all of us that we dared not suggest another cure for her strange illness. Just then, someone remembered that Ghanshyam Kaka, Beni Pishi's brother, was nowhere to be seen. So, what happened? All these they have heard of, they tried, but none of it could bring the remedy or the solution to Beni Pishi's voice. Then Beni Pishi was staring at them with so much anger that they could not think of any other solution to bring relief to her. But then suddenly all of them thought that Ghanshyam Kaka was not there. He was not there to be seen. While we were still discussing this, Ghanshyam Kaka's voice sounded from behind. So from behind he came and he produced his sound calling Beni or something. So he sounded from behind, and from behind he gave a voice that, "What is happening? Why has the entire village come down to my courtyard? Beni, would you explain?" He was asking, what has happened, Beni? Why the whole crowd is standing in my courtyard? What things have happened? Then, Beni Pishi cannot explain anything to you, Kaka, one of us said. So from the crowd, one of us said that Beni Pishi is not able to explain you. Why she is not able to explain? Because she has lost her voice. Then, then you see, poor woman, she has lost her voice. Then someone went on to narrate the theory regarding the ghost of the neem tree and the cursed moment Pishi had decided to walk under the tree with untied hair. So all the story that happened in the past, that we had some ghost had caught her and she went with open hairs under the neem tree, so she might have lost the voice because of such reasons. All this theory they gave or recited to Ghanshyam Kaka. Then I was not really listening to anything. My mind was elsewhere. I could see Ghanshyam Kaka carefully taking out a small brown paper packet from the pocket of his kurta. So now what Ghanshyam Kaka did, he was listening to all this, but he was busy taking out a brown paper from his pocket. Here, Beni, put this on. It is a brand new pair and cost twice over. Now don't go bathing in the river wearing this one. Beni Pishi hurriedly unwrapped the packet. We all peered down to see what it contained, and would you believe it? All that it contained was a pair of dentures, rimmed with pink plastic gums and looked grand with almost real looking teeth. So Ghanshyam Kaka handed over a brown paper with something inside it to Beni, and Beni Pishi took it hurriedly and she opened it. All were in suspense what would be there in that paper, and then what they saw that it was having a pair of dentures with grand looking teeth and with gums, plastic gums. So finally we realized why she lost her voice, because she has lost her pair of artificial dentures or teeth. What use could Beni Pishi have for this? Before we could voice our question to Ghanshyam Kaka, we saw Beni Pishi hurriedly slipping the dentures onto her toothless gum. Finally, the ghost of the neem tree dispossessed her. So, they were still thinking why she would require such dentures and all. Then hurriedly, Beni Pishi took those dentures and put it inside her mouth, toothless gums, and then she started talking. And then the crowd realized that yes, the ghost has went away now. What, Dada? She immediately took off in her characteristic loud, shrill voice. You have no sense, really. Must you have handed me the pair of dentures in the presence of all these people? Haven't I always told everybody that I had teeth like the Himalayan rocks, strong and everlasting? So this is finally we are hearing from Beni Pishi. These are the words of Beni Pishi. Beni Pishi is telling to her brother, why you have handed over these dentures to me in front of all? Because I was telling others that I have teeth like Himalayan rocks which are strong and everlasting. Why you have handed all these dentures in front of them? Now they will think that it is a lie. Otherwise they were all believing it to be true. Yes, we had often heard Beni Pishi boast about her teeth. So that it was. She really did not have her own pair of teeth. She must have lost the dentures while taking a bath in the river the previous day. How could she open her mouth to talk at the risk of being found out to be toothless? So now the crowd realized that she did not have her real set of teeth, and she is carrying this artificial denture, and she was not opening her mouth because she would be caught toothless. So therefore the fear of being caught toothless made her shut. वो ना अपना मुंह इसलिए नहीं खोल रही थी, उन्हें डर था कि सबको पता चल जाएगा कि मेरे असली दांत नहीं है, मेरे नकली दांत हैं. और उन्होंने अपने दांत कहाँ खोए थे? जब वो नदी में नहाने गई थी, तब उन्होंने उनका जो दांत का ये पेयर है वो नदी में बह गया था. तो उस समय से लेके अब तक वो अपना मुंह इसीलिए नहीं खोल रही थी कि सबको पता चल जाएगा कि मेरे पास असली दांत नहीं है. और उन्होंने जो इतनी बोस्टिंग की थी या इतना अपने बारे में ऊंचा ऊंचा बोल दिया था, वो सब झूठ हो जाएगा. For once we saw our mighty Beni Pishi blushing. We thought of the poor man. He had the worst beating of his life at Pishi's hands, and must still be running in fear that Pishi, under the influence of the possession, might follow him till the end of the planet to teach him what it takes to dispossess a person of a ghost of the name tree. So finally the mighty Beni was blushing. She was laughing and she was getting reddened because she was caught that she was lying. क्योंकि वो झूठ बोल रही थी, पकड़ी गई तो वो ब्लश कर रही थी, वो हंस रही थी. प्लस बेनी पिशी के कारण उस इंसान को इतनी मार मिली जो घोस्ट निकालने आया था बेनी पिशी को. वो अभी भी खौफ में होगा कि कहीं बेनी पिशी के अंदर की आत्मा मुझे मेरे विलेज तक न मार दे या मुझे और न ले जाए आगे मारते मारते हुए. तो like in the sense of humor this story is ending, and finally she is dispossessed now. She is dispossessed now because she has got her dentures and she is able to speak. So finally we are done with the reading also. It's all we went through. We went through the author's introduction, we went through the central idea of the story, then line by line reading. And this story was very easy, so I did not explain much in Hindi. I think it is clear to you. And still if anything is not clear, then once more I'll try to explain it. So we are done with it. The story is by Suparna Datta. Thank you.